Hi, everybody. Right, you'll have to excuse me from eating. Ironically, as this is about grounding and protecting, I did start the live a few minutes ago, as some of you may have known, and then I thought it was the connection. It wasn't the connection at all. It was me, because I didn't actually ground and protect enough. So I've just grabbed myself a drink and something, had something to eat brought to me. And actually, that is one way that you can ground and protect your energy, is by getting yourself something to eat and drink. So there you go. So yeah, I'm talking about grounding and protecting your energy. And when I talk about this, I like to talk about it in really, really simplistic terms so that you can go away and put it into practice straight away. Okay, I don't like to talk about it really, really detailed, because if those of you aren't used to this subject, then why make it complicated? Anyway, I like to use the analogy of when you're keeping your energy open, okay? In other words, when you're not grounded and protected, it's like having the front door of your home open, okay, and allowing anybody to walk into it without your permission, okay? That is like keeping your energy, okay, your personal energy open. Would you keep the front door of your house open to anybody? No, you wouldn't. But often we keep our own energy, the majority of us keep our own energy very open, okay? We're often not mindful of how we use our energy. And then we wonder why we feel physically low, okay? Why we end up having all these shit storms and challenges coming at us, and then blame everybody else for them, okay? And that doesn't just happen in things like work, career, relationships, things like that. It happens to us within our own health, okay? And it all comes down to how we are treating our energy, okay? How we're not grounding, protecting ourselves, why we're not setting boundaries, okay? Because when we're grounding and protecting our energy, we are setting boundaries. And a lot of us have been taught that actually to do that is wrong. Okay, it's selfish to set boundaries, because when we set boundaries, we are creating forms of self-care and self-love, okay? We're taught that we should give to others and not give back to ourselves, okay? But how often we're hearing it more now than we've ever done, that actually to fill your own cup up is healthy, because you cannot fill someone else's cup up unless you have filled up your own, okay? And that is essentially creating a solid boundary for protecting your own energy. It protects your energy, okay? I'm just gonna have another. So I'm gonna talk and eat. So how is your coming on? Feel free to ask your questions in relation to this and things like that. So bear with me a minute. So when you're grounded, what grounded actually means is it means to feel and to feel centered and to feel safe in your physical body, okay? And to feel at peace in your physical body. When you don't feel safe and at peace in your physical body, okay, and when you don't feel grounded in your physical body, you can end up with symptoms such as like chest pain, anxiety, heart palpitations, high levels of stress, headaches, things like that, you can end up talking faster than what you would have done, okay? Because you end up feeling more, your headspace can end up feeling more concerned with being either in the past or in the future. Okay, you're not centered in the present moment. And there are a few techniques that you can do to bring yourself back into the present moment. Okay, those are things like earthing. For those of you that don't know what earthing is, okay, it's a really good grounding technique, and that means going barefoot. Okay, so normally I go, hi Josephine, my love. So going barefoot around your house is a really good way of grounding yourself. It helps to bring you back into your physical body, okay, especially when doing like this type of work. Okay, so I'm going earthing. Okay, so feeling your bare feet in the grass. Okay, it helps to connect you back to Mother Earth, basically. Okay, imagining that you have roots coming from your feet. Okay, and like visualize roots coming from your feet right through to, say, the Earth's core and below. Okay, another grounding technique that you can do is visualizing that you have like a white light, hi Sandy, a white light going from above your crown chakra past your shoulders and enveloping over your body. Okay, that not only grounds you, but it's also another form of protection. Okay, especially when it feels as though you've got kind of negative energy around you. Okay, that always brings you back to the now as well, because when we don't feel as though we're in our own bodies, okay, it can manifest in different forms. Okay, feel free to ask your questions, because I don't want to feel as though I'm just talking at you. Okay, the other question I get around how do I know if I need to ground and protect myself, okay, is to actually ask yourself how you're feeling. Okay, so you'll know whether you need to ground and protect yourself if you don't feel well. Okay, if you feel a little bit off in your mood. Okay, so if you feel anxious, okay, if you feel worried, if you feel ill, it normally, or if you feel angry, okay, for no reason, it normally means that you've got a negative energy attached to you. If you've got a negative energy attached to you, it means you've left your own energy open, okay, which means that you're not protected and you're not grounded. Okay, in which case you need to do the following things. You need to get barefoot. Okay, you need to sit down, you need to visualize that white light around you, you need to imagine that you've got those roots coming down from the bottom of your feet so that you feel as though you are connected to the physical. Okay, then the best form of protection that you can do is actually raise your own vibration. Okay, because what a lot of people do is they do all the visualization work. Okay, so they imagine the white light, and then they imagine like the cord cutting, things like that, from those that are bringing in that negativity. And as much as that will help, if you're not actually setting firm boundaries and you're not doing the limiting belief work and things like that, it doesn't matter what visualization work you're doing, the other stuff won't count. So you need to do the emotional work as well as the visualization work. So what I mean by that is your protection work, okay, is tied to the raising of your own vibration, okay, because like attracts like. I'm definitely having problems with our connection today. Right, we might have to reschedule this because, right, I'm going to try and go on for a bit longer. Actually, so I'm going to talk about protection. So what I mean by that, okay, is your best form of energetic protection is raising your own energy, raising your own vibe. Okay, so when I talk about like attracts like, okay, when you're feeling good, okay, when you're feeling positive, okay, it is like you have your own energetic positivity bubble created around you, okay? So then your energy becomes closed, okay? So nothing negative can be attracted to you, okay? But when you are constantly fearful and you are feeling constantly negative, okay, and you are basically feeling constantly complaining and blaming and deflecting and things like that, okay, that's why in my coaching courses I have to work on someone's limiting beliefs first, okay. Hi Marie, my love. Yeah, positive affirmations is one way of doing it, okay. So what was I saying? So when you're constantly blaming and doing things like that, you are basically leaving your energy open, okay, to attract other people that are also negative, not just in the physical, but also in the spiritual as well, okay. And then people say, oh, but this bad thing's happening to me and that bad thing's happening to me. You know, it's because they're leaving their energy open. They are not setting positive boundaries. They are not protecting their energy. The way we protect our energy is by actually setting positive boundaries. Setting boundaries isn't about being negative or nasty or harmful or discompassionate. Setting boundaries is actually about being positive, okay? Boundaries gets a really bad rap, okay? And people think that actually setting boundaries is something that is weak, but it's not. It's being positive is actually a really strong connotation for knowing what it is that you want and that you need for yourself in order to protect yourself. Okay, so Marie asks, how do you do it? Okay, so when you're protecting your energy, think about what makes you feel good. And this is a really good time to actually write a checklist about what makes you feel good. Like a self-care checklist, seriously, and you can make it really, really simple. What makes you feel good? And make this checklist as long as you possibly can, okay? What makes you feel good for you, okay? What makes you feel good for you, okay? So I'm going to give you a few ideas, okay? So one thing you can do, okay, that not only grounds you but protects you is a salt bath, okay? Because salt, and I'm not talking about table salt, I'm talking about the Himalayan salt crystals, okay? And they sell them everywhere. You can get them online and in discount stores everywhere now, okay? They even do lavender salt crystals now, okay? Because salt not only detoxifies the energy around you, but it also detoxifies any toxins that are within the body. Okay, so taking a salt bath, okay, is a great way to protect and ground your energy. Okay, and it's a really good loving self-care thing that you can do for yourself that helps to raise your energy at the same time, so it boosts your mood. Okay, so it has lots of, it's like a multitasking thing. It grounds and protects at the same time. So a salt bath. Okay, you might want to light some candles at the same time, because as you're lighting candles, because if you notice, I've got candles lit in my environment. Okay, because bringing light to darkness, okay, helps take away anything that's negative. Okay. Okay, so think about, Josephine, think about, and this is not bringing blame to you at all, but think about why people come to you to complain. Okay. So it may not be just because you give good advice, which is a positive thing about you, okay, because you want to take the positive in it. Okay, but you also want to think about where it is that you need to set those boundaries, my love. Okay, because you only want people coming to you because there's a reason why they're coming to you to complain. Okay, and obviously they're coming to you to complain because they're needing to offload their woes, offload their concerns, offload their stress and their resistance, but at the same time it's burdening you as well. It's giving you a lot of stress that you don't need. Okay. And it's not that that person is bad for complaining, okay, but there's an opportunity there for you to learn how to set those boundaries. Yeah. And it's wearing you down. So it might be that you need to learn to say to these people or this person, I understand that, you know, that this is a lot for you, but I need to look after myself, and actually this is a little bit much for me right now. Maybe at a later date, message me about it, because it might be that actually if they were to message you about it, it wouldn't feel so heavy. And it also gives that person time to think about how it's affecting them if they're writing about it instead of talking about it to you. Okay, because when someone writes what they're complaining about, it feels a lot differently to how they speak about it. Okay, so maybe get them to message you about it instead of talking about it. That's unless they are actually writing about it instead of, you know. So get them to think about how they're complaining. Yeah. But also remember as well that whenever someone is complaining about something, okay, it is not your job to actually fix them. It is not your job to heal them. Okay, even as a coach, and when I coach somebody, it is actually never my job to heal someone. It's my job to give them the tools, but ultimately it's their job to heal their self, given the tools that they are given. Okay, so a salt bath is one way. Earthing is another. Okay, so when you go barefoot, okay, bringing yourself back in to the present moment. Okay, because when we get anxious and we have no boundaries, okay, it's because we are either lost in the past or we are lost in the future. Okay, and if we're lost in the future, okay, or we're lost in the past, it's because we feel as though we're not good enough with how we feel about ourselves. Okay, we're trying to compare ourselves to a vision of something that doesn't exist. Okay. Right. Another tip I give to people that suffer from anxiety, okay, and high levels of stress, because I used to get like panic attacks and anxiety attacks and things like that, because another reason we leave our energy wide open is because of, it's called comparisonitis. We don't think we're good enough. We compare ourselves to other people who we think are better than us, because we're conditioned to think that who we are in ourselves is not good enough, it's not lovable enough, and things like that. So we struggle to do all of the things that we need to do all of the time. And it's like we beat ourselves up and we judge ourselves all of the time. And it's like we're Speedy Gonzales and we're rushing against a clock that does not exist. And this is one that you can, it's a tip that you can use to ground and protect yourself when you're alone in a busy public place. And it will even make you laugh. So, and that is basically to have another little checklist again, but this time to think of a really funny, happy memory or a word, okay? And it's like a buzzword that triggers something that will make you laugh, okay? Hi, Tavia. Yeah, it's a buzzword that will make you laugh, okay? And I had a client once that really struggled with anxiety and jealousy because she'd been very hurt in the past from negative relationships. So I got her to think of a word that would make her laugh when she was triggered by jealousy. So, and the word that she came up with for some reason was penises. Anyway, that was her buzzword, just to give you an idea. Anyway, what it was I got her to count down from 10, because when we count up to 10, that can actually make our hearts beat faster, okay? All right, bye. It can make our hearts beat faster as we're counting up to 10. So actually what you want to do is you want to count down from 10, because it makes your, I have to see the laugh emoji, because you will gradually slow yourself down. Okay, so as you're going down from 10 to 1, as you get to 1, you want to say in your head, okay, this buzzword, okay? And then when you say the buzzword, you want to think of what this happy memory is. You want to fill your mind with this happy memory. You want to think of all the colors. You want to think of the sensation, okay? You want to fill yourself up with this happy memory. I mean, if you're thinking of the word penis, and I'm saying fill yourself up with it, but right, I'm not going to even go into that one. But anyway, and when I told her to do all this, she burst out laughing and she could not stop laughing. So automatically, because her energy was raised, she was no longer thinking of things and feelings like jealousy and anger, okay? So her energy was already automatically protected. Therefore, she was not anxious anymore. She was not stressed. And she definitely wasn't thinking about the person that had brought about those feelings for her anymore. Okay. You want to do this with your hands, okay? You want to link your hands like this. You want to put your little fingers together and you want to put your thumbs together. Okay, that's also a grounding technique. Okay, it gets you to refocus your mind. Okay, you can do that in public as well. So your mind is also distracted on the positive thought, which has raised your energy. Okay, and you've also grounded. Okay, you can do that anywhere. You can do that in public. And you can also do that. Sorry, my dog is running around, if you're wondering what the noise is. Get off that. Sorry, she's trying to chew a slipper. Naughty thing. So yeah, that's another technique for protecting your energy and grounding. So you want to clasp your fingers together, put the little fingers together, and then your thumbs together. Okay, and you push them together. That grounds you. Okay. And then you want to think of that happy memory with that buzzword to trigger that happy memory. Okay, and count down from 10, not up, but down from 10. You can do that in a public place as well as being alone, because I know a lot of people suffer, those that suffer from anxiety, that anxiety is triggered from being in a busy place or in a crowd. You want about my dog? She's daft, running around with a blooming slipper as soon as my other half leaves the house, like, yay, I'm going to go chew that slipper. Oh, he would go mad if he found out she chewed the slipper. So yeah, that's another technique that you can do. Okay. So the main idea behind grounding and protecting your energy, okay, is to set boundaries. Okay, is to understand that self-care, finding things that work for you, loving you, okay, doing things on a regular daily basis that support you, okay, saying yes to yourself, okay, and saying yes to things that serve you and saying no to things that don't, is how you will learn to protect and ground your energy, okay? Because it is all well and good imagining yourself in a light bubble, okay? And imagining that you have roots coming down from your feet and connected to Mother Earth. Yes, that will help. But if you are continuing to not pay attention and focus on working on the relationship that you have with yourself and not supporting the relationship that you have with yourself and loving yourself, then all that will not be any good. Okay, you will continue to attract the situations, experiences, and people that are not healthy for you. The best protection that you will ever have, okay, is self-love. It is working on your self-worth, okay? Raising your energy and vibration, okay, is the best protection that you will ever have, okay? Because like attracts like. I'll tell you a little story. I never ever used to believe thank you, Marie. Honestly, I've never seen her with a slipper in ages. That's because she knows just by a look. If you give her a look, like a no K, her name is K, short for chaos, so you can tell. So yeah, I never used to believe actually in negative spirits like the devil, anything like that. Like as a kid growing up, anything like that, never used to believe in it. So I never ever saw negative spirits, never watched a horror film. I won't even watch them now, stuff like that. So I never saw one, never felt one, anything like that. Now I know why. It's because I didn't believe it. And because I didn't believe it, I never saw it and I never felt it. What you believe is what you bring into your reality. Because what you believe is what you end up feeling on a soul level, okay? But you can choose to believe what you want by beginning to think those thoughts, okay? So if you want to believe that you can achieve whatever, well then so be it. Just begin to think those thoughts. Train your brain to begin to think those thoughts and it will happen. Okay. Words are very, very powerful, okay? Because they have an energy behind them. And it's only like in the last year where I've had people coming to me that have unfortunately experienced negative entities, and I've had to do research into negative entities, okay, to help to draw them out of these out of my clients' lives, that I've actually started to believe in them, and so I've actually witnessed them myself and seen them and things like that. So oh, hi, Anne-Marie. I am, my love. Had a little bit of a headache this morning, but that's why I'm now munching away on barbecue cheddars. So yeah, the best protection that you can have is raising your vibration. What I mean by raising your vibration is raising your mood, raising your energy. And there's so many different ways that you can do that. And it will be unique to each and every single one of you. Okay? Because what will appeal to one won't to another. And the thing is, we are so conditioned and taught that actually giving to self, loving ourselves, okay, helping ourselves to feel good, is selfish, and it's not, it's self-full, okay? Because actually we cannot help somebody else to feel good, okay, on a core vibrational energetic level, okay, if we don't feel really good and empowered ourselves, okay? Because if we are giving, and if we don't feel good ourselves, if we continue to do that without feeling good ourselves, then we end up feeling tired, exhausted, resentful. That will only happen for so long. Okay, that's why it's important to fill your cup up first. Okay. Oh, sweet. And that's a sign, okay, to that your energy, my love, has not been protected and actually grounded. Okay. Because spirit will communicate through the physical body, okay? You know, you have signs all the time, physically, you know? So ask yourself, okay, how can you support yourself now? If you're feeling low, what can you do? You know, can you take a rest? Do you need to drink more water? Can you have like a light snack? Can you have a meal? Can you play some music just to raise your energy levels a little bit so that you can feel good? Can you take a salt bath just to clear out those toxins a little bit? You know, is there someone that you can just kind of lean on to support you a little bit for a bit? You know, it's all these sort of questions that we don't tend to ask ourselves, you know, because when we feel ill, we just we don't stop. We don't take a breather. We just tend to push on through it, which leaves our energy more open to more ill health, and things just spiral more and more out of control, which builds even more negative momentum. Oh, hello, Heather, my lovely. Feel free to ask questions as well, Heather, okay? So yeah, so if you're feeling ill, that is the time when it's not a case of, oh, I feel rubbish. I mean, yeah, you can acknowledge that you feel rubbish, but that's the time to take the opportunity to go, okay, what is this teaching me? Where is this the opportunity for setting that boundary, setting that soulful boundary? Where is it that I can bring myself back into alignment with my well-being and my health, and actually ground myself and protect myself so that I can feel better, okay? Because even in ill health is an opportunity for learning. It's not because you're being punished for doing something wrong, because this is one of the things that like does grate on me a little bit, because in like law of attraction circles, it's like, oh, you're ill, so it's because you've kind of, you're in resistance to something and you've manifested it. Yes, I partially agree that you've manifested that. I actually agree that I manifested my epilepsy, but I don't believe it's because I did something wrong. I believe it's because I needed to learn from my epilepsy so that it could help me to grow in order for my enlightenment. And we can even take that on a really low level, like headaches. We can grow and develop from what headaches teach us, you know? Headaches teach us to slow down, okay? So that we have to ask for support, you know? Think how much you have to slow down when you have a migraine. I mean, bloody hell, that really makes you shut down, doesn't it? And it really teaches you to protect your energy and to set really firm boundaries. Because how much do you go in action in everyday life until you have something as debilitating as a migraine? You know, and that's why spirit often speak to us through our physical health, because until then we don't wake up, we don't take notice. That's why that's why we ground through the physical body. Heather, what ideas do you have for grounding when weather is too cold? God, it was cold today and I'm still going around barefoot. I must be mad. To go barefoot outside or nature walks, or if it's raining. Oh, you're not going to like me very much then. Well, I'm about to go out in the rain. Literally, I'm going to sound like something from Peppa Pig now. Jump in muddy puddles. Like literally feel the rain. Sunny's laughing at me now. Feel the rain and jump in muddy puddles. Like literally feel the rain. How often do we don't like feel the rain? I'm not saying you have to do this every day, but I remember when I went out in the snow and I lifted my face up to the snow, and I only did it for like a minute, and I was freezing my butt off, and I didn't like it. Like afterwards, I was like, you know, but it was like a light bulb moment where I felt absolutely connected to everything that actually didn't matter, but everything that did matter. And I wasn't going to say what was going on in my head then, but actually I will. I actually felt connected to God. But I would actually say to you, don't worry about the cold, because the cold is not permanent. It's not permanent. So I would actually just say, I would say go outside, even when it's cold, because it's not permanent. Discuss house plants as a way of engaging with nature and grounding, but some struggle with plants. Yeah, actually my coach struggles with earthing. And I have a joke with her every now and again. I'm like, oh, I went earthing today. And she's like, oh no, don't send me pictures. I don't like it. I can't stand it. It makes me cringe. Things like that, because she doesn't like the thought of putting her feet onto grass. And she said that she does it every now and again to just help herself build up to it. So she's like got a little patch of grass that she's cut out and that she actually brings into the house just so she can place her feet on it, just to get used to it. I've got house plants that I keep forgetting to water, that I've really got to remember to water. But luckily I asked the person that I was buying it from, do I need to water it often? And he said no. I'm like, well, I'm getting it then. Um, Heather, headaches tell me I need more boundaries in energy work. Yeah, it definitely is amazing how actually, and I used to be like years ago, I'm saying pre 5 years ago, I was always ill, always ill. Now I'm not as often ill, you know, I get like the odd headache related to my epilepsy and things like that. But compared to how ill I used to be, nowhere near as, and that's because I was never setting boundaries. I was not aware of my own consciousness and the effect of my energy on other people and the effect of other people's energy on me either. And just as I was talking about you, Hannah, she pops up. I'm talking about your dislike for earthing. But yeah, and actually you can advise your clients, Heather, that their art it's a bit like sensory. Different ways of grounding is very much like people's need for sensory objects. And there are different house plants as well that people may have a liking to, or I'm trying to think of the word. A preference to. Hopefully you won't get kicked out again. But yeah, I think like and actually sensory objects are also a form of, I've reminded myself now, sensory objects are also another form of grounding. Okay, so when you think of a child that has autism, okay, and I know you do, Heather, that is another form of grounding, okay? And we can use those as adults. Just because a child uses them doesn't mean to say that we should discourage that ourselves. Okay, so like my son has, like, I call it a chew toy. He calls it his chew buddy. Okay, so that slime. I personally hate slime, but you can use slime and like blue tack and like Play-Doh is really good for grounding. Okay, there are all sorts of things that you can use for grounding as long as it brings you back into the now. Okay, and that feeling of bringing you back into your physical body. Okay, connection to your physical body. That is what helps. Okay, it's the intention. It's the intention behind what it is that you're doing that is important. Okay, finally, right, Sunny's now stepped in, thank heavens for that. And that is why actually I didn't feel grounded to begin with. I actually had a headache when I started this, and although I had some soup before I started, that's another grounding tool. If you're wondering, okay, why your energy feels a bit all over the place and you feel a bit lost, ask yourself, have you eaten? Have you had something to drink? Okay, ask yourself, okay, have my basic needs been met? If your basic needs have not been met, that's also another precursor as to why your energy is open and not protected. It's because your basic needs have not been met. Hence why I've had to have some massive glass of water. Okay, because grounding essentially means bringing yourself back into your physical body. Okay. Definitely, yeah. And that's why you will see children that are, yeah, root chakra all over again. Yeah. And just because children use them doesn't mean to say that we should disregard them. When I'm doing inner healing the inner child work with clients, okay, I say to them, actually, it's okay to take an object to bed with you, okay? And I'm not talking about the naughty sexual objects either, okay? I've said it is okay to like take a teddy to bed with you or take a blanket to bed with you. It's okay. It will help you to ground yourself and to nurture yourself. Just read your comments a minute. Let me go back up. Her ears were itching. And what I was going to say is that is why children, especially children that are sensitive to energy, autistic children, children with autistic traits and sensory perception disorder, things like that, that is why you will see them stimming and jumping and flapping and things like that, because they are, without consciously realizing it, they are trying to ground themselves. They are trying to bring themselves back in the physical, because it's like their energy has elevated so much that they can't cope with it anymore. So they're unconsciously just trying to bring themselves back in so that they can just feel a sense of protection and safety and grounding again. Yes, hopefully you got my message, Heather, definitely, about the crystal training. Yeah, my Oliver's got a crystal under his pillow. So yeah, and crystals, yeah, that's the other thing. They are also a really good protection and grounding tool as well. And you don't have to either just have them lying around your house, either you can actively use them, hold them in your hand. You know, I like to, like, I have them with me a lot. I keep this on my laptop when I'm doing my readings, as well as talking to you guys, and I have my Aventurine as well next to me. And that one, I like to just kind of hold that one sometimes, because that just makes me feel clearer of mind as well as connected. And I just like the feel of that one as well. Yeah, definitely. I'm teaching Oliver how to just like hold them. And he's actually got a crystal with a magnet on the back that I put on the back of his tablet. I can't remember the name of it now. That's really good for electronic interference. It basically dissipates electronic interference as well. Yeah, definitely. So there are lots of different techniques that you can use for grounding and protecting yourself, but the best way, the best advice I can give for protecting your energy is raise your vibration, okay? Do the things that feel good for you, okay? If you're ever struggling to know what that is, think of it like this: like attracts like, okay? Get rid of the things that don't serve you and start doing the things that do, okay? It's not about being selfish, it's about being selfful, okay? So feel into your body, okay? So if it feels tight, if your body feels uncomfortable when you are having to do something, okay, how can you change it, okay, so that it feels a little bit less resistant, okay? So I'm having to plug my computer in before it all dies. Okay, so that you feel a little bit more at peace with it, okay? And if you have to do it, what can you do to change your mood before you have to go ahead and do it, okay? So in other words, can you go take a salt bath for yourself? in order to raise your mood so that you feel better about yourself. Okay, there's always something you can do. There's never no excuse in order to maintain and support your energy. Okay, you are not a free-for-all. Okay, that's the expression I use. You are not a free-for-all. You are not put on this planet to just serve other people at the expense of yourself. Okay. Oh, definitely, Heather. Yeah, go free to, yeah, definitely. I'm getting a lot of brain fog today. Oh, wow, that was quick. Thank you. You're on the ball today, my lovely. And I'm gonna So, right, I'm going to love you and leave you all. I am going to come back in hopefully next week and do some more talking about this. Is that you again, Hannah? Honestly, it's only in the last hour I feel woo, woo. Heather, my lovely, I ordered some essential oils yesterday. I did. Can't wait to get them. Yeah, I need those ASAP. All my life, I did actually order rosewood, sandalwood, and I also ordered sage. And what was the other one I ordered? I can't remember. Anyway. Oh, my life, that was the other one I ordered, patchouli. That was it. So, yeah. So I'm going to start popping those in my bath and on my wrist. But I think I'm definitely being shut down now because my brain is not functioning. So, but I think that's because I did a morning of readings. And yesterday was a very, very full day and content writing. So, yeah. And I'm going to be off to do the school run in a minute. So, but lovely. And Heather will be doing a training soon in the group. So if anybody, but I'll put details about that soon anyway. And apologies for me mentioning, but so yeah, make sure you are looking after yourself, okay? Because it's vital. And if anybody would like a private coaching session, feel free to go and book on my website as well. Okay, and there are some freebies there. Yes, definitely. We definitely will do. Okay, but I am fully booked for this week. So there are slots open next week. But just take a look at the website for those, my lovelies. Okay, and I will speak to you all soon. I'm off to finish the rest of my cheddars. All right, and think about how you can support your energy, okay? Because it is really, really important, okay? And if you've got any questions, feel free to post them in the group, okay? Thank you, everybody. Bye for now.